Breaking right now on Morning News Now, retaliation. China striking back against President Trump's steep tariffs by raising rates on U.S. goods to 125%. That move just hours after another major stock market slide that erased Wednesday's historic rebound on Wall Street.
Again, there'll be a transition cost and transition problems, but in the end, it's going to be a beautiful thing.
We have team coverage as the trade war escalates. Also, a tragic crash caught on camera. Authorities investigating how a helicopter tour over New York City came to a deadly end, slamming into the Hudson River, killing everyone on board. On top of that, a close call renewing safety concerns at Reagan Airport in D.C. We're going to bring you the very latest. Plus, new developments in the mistaken deportation of a Maryland man. The Supreme Court ordering the Trump administration to facilitate his return. More on that decision and the new efforts to bring him back. And he's flipping the script on screen, on stage, and on the bookshelves. Drag legend and TV personality Bob the Drag Queen now adding best-selling author to his long list of accolades. We'll share our conversation about his new book, his TV career, the one reality show he still wants to do. Good morning. Good to have you with us on a Friday. I'm Joe Fryer. Savannah is off this morning. We begin our show with the ongoing financial turmoil brought on by President Trump's back-and-forth trade war with China. This morning, Beijing says it's increasing its tariffs on U.S. imports to 125%. That's after the Trump administration upped its levies on China to 145% on Thursday. So here's where we stand on U.S. tariffs currently in place following a week of walkbacks and escalations. In addition to those duties on China, there's also a 25% tariff on aluminum, autos, and goods from Canada and Mexico that are not under the U.S.-Mexico-Canada agreement. On top of that, we have a 10% baseline tariff on all other imports. The trade tensions are taking their toll on the financial markets. U.S. stocks closed sharply lower yesterday. That pretty much extinguished the relief rally seen on Wednesday after the president announced a 90-day freeze on U.S. tariffs for dozens of countries. Despite the market turmoil, President Trump says he is confident and optimistic about his tariff tactics. In a few moments, we'll hear from Investopedia's editor-in-chief, Caleb Silver. First, let's go to NBC News Washington correspondent Alice Barr. Alice, good morning.
Good morning, Joe. This week's Wall Street whiplash is really highlighting the damage that uncertainty can do to the economy, as we're seeing China again retaliate this morning with even higher tariffs on U.S. goods and a quickly escalating trade war. A wild week on Wall Street, winding down with another downturn on Thursday, erasing part of Wednesday's historic recovery as investors eye the growing trade war with China. China this morning announcing even higher 125% retaliatory tariffs on U.S. goods. President Trump with his cabinet acknowledging what he calls short-term pain.
There'll always be transition difficulty.
While insisting negotiations are going well with other trading partners who got a 90-day reprieve in punishing tariffs and suggesting China could follow.
I think that we'll end up working out something that's very good for both countries.
No sign of that yet, with the White House clarifying total tariffs on Chinese imports are now 145%, including a previous fentanyl-related penalty. The rift in that critical trade relationship set to drive up prices as small businesses like this Utah hobby shop and its customers brace for impact.
I'm a little nervous that I'm not going to get some of the product I ordered or where I'm going to have to pay more for stuff.
The instability making market forecasters like J.P. Morgan Chase stick with predictions that the U.S. economy could tip into a recession. And we did get some good news for the economy with a new report showing inflation cooled in March from the month before, more than expected, though that data comes from before the trade war really started ratcheting up, with economists expecting prices, again, are going to be forced back up. Joe.
All right, Alice, thank you so much. Let's continue this conversation with Investopedia's Caleb Silver. Okay, so we got 125% one way, 145% another way. How high can we go? Have you seen anything like this before?
No, this is about as high as we've gone. And now the effective tariff rate is north of 20%, really, for the U.S., bringing in all products into this country, and with China, it can just keep getting higher and higher. We are one another's biggest customers, and now we're in a full-blown trade war. We trade about $552 billion worth of goods. China calling this a total joke, and they can say they can last as long as they want, raising tariffs or having this tariff war with the U.S. But ultimately, who pays the price? Consumers pay the price. Small businesses pay the price. We just saw in that package right there. So this is already going to escalate prices and escalate uncertainty. Uncertainty is not good for the economy.
And the question that consumers have is, how does this impact me? I mean, where are they going to see this? How quickly could they start to see higher prices?
Yeah, almost immediately next week with China, because it's going to be in consumer electronics, where we do a lot of imports, obviously some metals between the two countries, but we get a lot of apparel out of China as well. So you're talking about footwear, you're talking about clothing, but just think about the iPhone. Apple's been trying to move production to places like India. It's super hard to do that when you're working at that type of scale and you're getting those type of profit margins. So every consumer electronics product that comes from China or any component is going to get costlier here. And then for those businesses that sell to China, a lot of farmers, soy and other products, those are going to get more expensive on the way out. Really, nobody wins in the trade war.
Let's talk about the markets. We saw this rebound on Wednesday, and that was pretty much erased yesterday. What happened yesterday? Was it reality setting in, and is this volatility here to stay right now?
Yeah, it's here for now, and I would expect more and more of it. Even we're looking at a higher open this morning for stocks. I don't expect that to last, where I expect a lot of choppiness, because investors just can't see the future, and I don't think they believe the narrative so much. There was that relief rally, the president lowering those tariff rates to 10%. That gave people some enthusiasm, but the uncertainty with China, which is one of our biggest trading partners, that just muddies the picture here. So investors are just not certain how to value stocks right now. So what do? They sell. We heard from JP Morgan this morning, their reported earnings, the CEO saying, we are in a period of real economic uncertainty, and they're predicting a high percentage for a recession.
So when you, I was just going to ask that. When you weigh the 90-day pause with most countries, but then the escalation with China, what are the fears right now of a recession? Where does that stand?
The fear is psychological, and it's also real, because companies can't order the right amount of inventory. They can't plan for the future. We heard Delta Airlines earlier this week saying we cannot even give a forecast for what this quarter looks like or beyond, because we just don't know if people are going to be spending on travel like they used to. So take Delta, but boil that all the way down to a small business or even an auto manufacturer. Visibility is, they don't have it. So if they can't see the future and make their plans, consumers are also going to put their hands in their pockets, because they can't make their plans either.
Are there signs that that's happening? Are people pulling back on spending yet? I mean, what is your best recommendation for people right now who are anxious and are worried about how to navigate all this volatility?
Yeah, focus on the needs. I mean, the wants are great, but it's the needs that we need to be prepared for, and that means we can expect higher prices. We did have a more moderate inflation report yesterday, but that's looking back. Going forward, prices are going to go up. So brace yourself for that, and make sure in your financial plan, you know prices are going to go up, and you know the market's going to be volatile going forward. You got to be patient through this, because we are in the early days of this new economic policy that is still playing out.
All right, Caleb Silver, thank you so much. An investigation is underway into a deadly helicopter crash here in New York City. A video shared on social media shows the moment when that helicopter on a tourist flight crashed into the Hudson River yesterday afternoon between Manhattan and New Jersey. The helicopter lost control shortly after it turned at the George Washington Bridge to fly along the New Jersey shoreline. All 6 people on board, including 3 children, died in the crash. Officials described the recovery efforts.
NYPD divers pulled 4 people from the crash site, and FDNY divers recovered an additional 2. Immediate life-saving measures were undertaken on the vessels at the scene, as well as the adjoining pier.
2 of the adult victims are confirmed to have been a married couple from Spain. NBC News correspondent Sam Brock has the latest from the scene.
Joe, good morning. First, the NTSB and the FAA are going to be out here investigating. We don't know yet what caused this crash. Here's what I can tell you. I interviewed the man, Bruce Wall, who captured that video of the helicopter plunging into the Hudson River yesterday afternoon behind me. The way that he described it was as if something was just breaking. He said that the tail appeared to snap, and that the rotor blades also detached from the plane, that they were just spinning around as the helicopter plunged into the water first, then the other parts. So something catastrophic clearly malfunctioned. We just don't know what yet. And the New York Police Department and investigators yesterday said this is going to be an ongoing investigation. Clearly, it could be weeks or months to come before we get some resolution. Here's what we do know. This was a sightseeing helicopter, much like you would see, honestly, tens of dozens of times a day, tens of thousands of times a year. Not clear what exactly went wrong, but this family from Spain that we have now confirmed is a husband who is an executive with a huge multinational corporation, Siemens, and his wife and 3 children were in the helicopter. They were in the middle of their flight for about 15 or so minutes, maybe a little bit more than that, when something went wrong. And again, we don't know the details of how it all transpired, but according to local officials, the NYPD, the FDNY, they were able to recover 4 bodies initially, then another 2. It was the NYPD that got the first 4, the FDNY that got the other 2, and then 2 people died in the hospital. 4 were declared deceased on scene. Look, Joe, we don't know whether or not it was exposure to the frigid waters behind me or the impact that actually caused their deaths, but just tragedy, once again, shaking the aviation community. If you look over my shoulder, it might be a little bit hard to see from this vantage point. You can still see a couple of lights out there, police lights that are flashing. It was just a cluster of ferries and marine units yesterday that were swarming the area. According to police, they were in the water within minutes of this all happening and did the best they could to try to save lives. It just wasn't possible. Lastly, I will leave you with this. The CEO of the helicopter company that runs those tours spoke with a number of publications, including The Telegraph, said that in his 30-plus years in the industry, he has never seen anything like this, that the pilot had actually phoned in to say they needed to get fuel. He said that process typically takes about 3 minutes. Instead, 20 minutes elapsed. He hadn't heard anything. He phoned his office and ultimately found out in Lower Manhattan that the crash had occurred. He said that everyone was devastated. Every single member of the company was devastated. His wife could not stop crying as you were looking right now at the loss of life of 6 people, the pilot, these 2 parents, their 3 children. There is nothing left to say except it is just beyond tragic. That's the latest here, New York on the West Side Highway, across the river from where this happened. Let me send it back to you.
All right, Sam, thank you so much. And we have another aviation incident to tell you about. A plane carrying several members of Congress was clipped by another aircraft while on the tarmac at Washington's Reagan National Airport. That happened yesterday. An American Airlines plane bound for JFK Airport carrying at least 6 House members from New York and New Jersey was clipped by the wings of another plane. No one was injured. This comes more than 2 months, of course, after an American Eagle jet and Black Hawk military helicopter collided in the air over Reagan Airport, killing all 67 people on board. A lot to talk about here. Let's bring in NBC News aviation analyst John Cox. John, always good to have you with us. Let's start with that deadly helicopter crash here in New York. We don't know many details yet, but we know weather didn't seem to be an issue around the time of the crash. There were occasional gusts of up to 21 miles an hour. Visibility was good, up to 10 miles. And the chopper just seemed to fall in pieces. What do you make of what we saw yesterday? Where will investigators begin?
I think the investigators are going to start looking at what caused the helicopter to come apart in flight. It's pretty clear from the videos that it suffered a catastrophic event and that a good portion of the helicopters separated, the blades and others. So they're going to look for evidence in the wreckage that says, that can tell them what happened in what sequence. Once they have that, they can then begin to work backwards. But right now, everything's on the table, and the NTSB will work by eliminating things that are not contributing, such as the weather, as an example. If the weather was good, then they'll take that off. But slowly and very methodically, they'll go through and determine what the sequence of events was that led to this in-flight breakup.
So it is common to see helicopter tours over the Hudson River. Explain to us some of the challenges of flying through New York City airspace. What should we know about that? Are there any fears that it's getting too crowded up there?
There's a lot of traffic in New York, both airliners, corporate airplanes, and helicopters, but there are prescribed routes that everybody flies. So it's like being on a road. You drive on one side of the road and other vehicles pass on the other side. So the system works pretty well. There is a lot of traffic there. It's similar in quantity to Southern California or in the LA area. There's a lot of helicopter traffic there as well. So as far as crowding goes, I'm not sure that that's going to be an issue here. Certainly they will look at it, but it doesn't appear that this is a mid-air collision of any sort, unless it happened to be maybe a bird that the helicopter struck, resulting in a loss of control. So, but there's a lot of helicopters, but everybody who flies there knows the rules and they stick by them.
John, let's talk about that other incident involving the plane carrying members of Congress. It was clipped at Reagan Airport. We've seen incidents like this recently. So does this come down to communication between the crew and the tarmac and control towers, or is there something else at play here?
I think from what I've seen, Reagan National is a small airport. Consequently, when aircraft are lining up to depart, they're in very close proximity to each other. And there are lines on the pavement that show you where you line up. What happened here, NTSB is certainly going to look at to understand why these two aircraft got actually touched. But the pilots for both aircraft knew that something had happened. They returned to the gate to ensure that the aircraft could or were airworthy or not. And so the actions of the crew once the two aircraft touched was exactly what it should have been.
All right. John Cox, good to have you with us. Thank you so much. This morning, a Maryland father who was mistakenly deported to El Salvador is one step closer to coming home. Yesterday, the Supreme Court said the Trump administration must facilitate the return of Kilmar Abrego Garcia. He was deported to El Salvador's mega prison last month, along with men the administration accused of being gang members. Immigration officials have called it an administrative error. The Supreme Court decision partly rejects an emergency request from the Justice Department. The DOJ was trying to contest a district judge order that had set a deadline for the man to be retrieved from prison by midnight Monday. Now, while immigration officials allege that Abrego Garcia has gang ties, he has never been charged with or convicted of a crime. NBC News legal analyst Danny Savalos is here to help break this one down for us. So the Supreme Court didn't exactly agree with the language used by the district judge. So what does their decision say about how all this should be carried out?
Yeah, I'm not so sure I read this as a win for Garcia. A true win would have been the court saying this was a huge mistake. Get him on a plane immediately. The president of El Salvador is going to be here Monday. Put him on that plane, and then we'll figure out who gets in trouble. Because the government the entire way admitted that he was deported in error. So I was not actually that surprised that the Supreme Court came back with this order, or that the lower court decision was allowed to stand. Here's where the devil is in the details. I think the administration is going to parlay this in their minds into a win. Here's why. Number one, the order says you have to try to facilitate his return so he can follow the proper procedure. The proper procedure could still end with his removal. Remember, the 2019 immigration judge order only said you can't send him back to El Salvador. It didn't say you can't send him to Nambia. It didn't say you can't send him to Luxembourg. Any of the other 193 countries might be fine under that order. And part two, the Supreme Court even said that in requiring them to effectuate his return, we don't even know if that's within the district court's power because you didn't define what effectuate means. I promise you the administration is going to turn this into whatever the district court defines effectuate as. The administration will say, you don't have the power to order us to do that because that's international relations.
So what do you think could happen next? I mean, this Monday deadline has already come and gone. When could Abrego Garcia come back to the U.S.?
My prediction, not soon, because it goes back to the district court, and the district court now has to define what it means by effectuate. That will take time. Once it does that, the administration will say, hey, district court, your definition of effectuate, we think you've overstepped your boundaries. Appeal time. That will take time. It will go up, maybe back to the Supreme Court to decide the issue of whatever the district court decided. And then it could ping pong back down to the district court to further clarify what it means to effectuate his return. All in all, this could take much longer than anticipated. And it's entirely possible with this Supreme Court order that ultimately whatever the district court orders to effectuate his return is not enough, that the district court may not even have the power to order the administration to do that. So I'm not so sure this is a win for Garcia, and I'm not so sure it means he's going to be back here in the States anytime soon.
So a bigger picture, the administration has been deporting people under the Alien Enemies Act. That's a wartime law from 1798, allows the president to deport people from, quote, enemy nations. Earlier this week, the Supreme Court essentially said that was okay as long as people are given due process. So together, these rulings might make it seem easier for people to challenge these. But what's the reality for people who've actually been deported without any sort of due process?
I'm so glad you brought that up, because there were two court decisions in the last week, and taken together as a kind of mini constellation, they may mean that these folks who are being removed are entitled to due process. That means notice and an opportunity to be heard. But lawyers will tell you that just getting that procedural due process certainly doesn't mean you're going to win. In fact, the Supreme Court, in the language that talks about facilitating return, seems to imply that, look, you may be able to remove these people. You just have to follow procedural due process. So the end result may be the same. The time may be extended. And I hate to sound so negative, but that may be the ultimate holding here when all the smoke clears, that the administration can still deport Garcia, can still deport everybody else, and look for them to give some minimal due process in the actual process.
A lot of questions still left.
A lot of questions.
All right,
yep.
Danny, thank you so much. Appreciate it. In the Los Angeles courtroom this morning, the effort to free Lyle and Erik Menendez will enter a new phase more than 30 years after the murder of their parents shocked the nation. The brothers will appear before a judge who is considering whether to resentence them. Some family members are pushing for their release, but others, including the LA District Attorney, say they still have not taken full responsibility. NBC News correspondent Jay Gray joins us now from outside the courthouse in Van Nuys, California. Jay, good morning.
Joe, good morning to you. As we all know, this case has been the subject of TV, movies, documentaries, intense debate. Today, the legal drama again playing out in front of a judge, as you talk about. He'll determine if Erik and Lyle Menendez, currently serving a life sentence with no chance at parole, could ultimately get a chance at freedom. Inside the Van Nuys courthouse today, the latest in the legal, political, and for many moral tug-of-war over Lyle and Erik Menendez. A hearing to consider if the brothers, convicted of brutally killing their parents more than 35 years ago, should be granted a resentencing hearing and ultimately released. The motion, initiated by a former Los Angeles district attorney, is not supported by the current LADA, who believes the brothers haven't acknowledged lies they initially told investigators or taken full responsibility for the murders.
They do not meet the standards for resentencing. They pose an unreasonable risk of danger to the community.
Why are we here? Justice! Why are we here? Justice!
The Menendez family and supporters continue to push for their freedom.
We are not asking for sympathy. We are demanding fairness.
Arguing the brothers acted in self-defense after years of abuse by their father. Accusations outlined in multiple television movies and series about the case.
It really did actually move a lot of people to understand the childhood trauma that Erik and I suffered.
Family members also point to their work in prison, earning college degrees, creating hospice and mentoring programs, as well as a program for inmates who are victims of sexual abuse.
They have done more good from inside of a prison than most people do in their lifetime.
The question the courts now begin to answer is if Lyle and Erik Menendez will spend the rest of their lifetime behind bars. Now, there is another avenue to freedom for the Menendez brothers. California Governor Gavin Newsom has initiated a parole board review of the case as part of his process to consider commuting their sentences. Joe?
So, Jay, what exactly is that process, and when could we have answers on both of these efforts?
Yeah, I think today and in this hearing that we'll have a bit later in the day here, we should get some kind of answer today. There's even the possibility they could roll right into a resentencing hearing, though most don't believe that will be the case, that it will be scheduled for a later date. As for the commutation, they're right now involved in that 90-day interview and investigation process. The major question, according to the governor's office, is whether the Menendez brothers, and I'm quoting here, pose an unreasonable risk to the public. So they'll continue to review all of that, interview people. There is a hearing set for June 13th before the parole board, separate hearings for the brothers, and that will determine, the parole board will decide if the clemency hearing moves forward.
All right, Jay Gray in California. Jay, thank you. After a week of chilly temperatures, now heavy rain is expected across the East Coast this weekend, with even snow possible. Let's take a look at your morning news now weather with Angie Lassman. snow.
Joe, I just know what you were thinking, and it's the same thing I'm thinking. What the heck? It is April. Why are we talking about snow across parts of the Northeast? Unfortunately, we had that chilly air in place, and we've got some moisture to tap into. So it's rain and a bit of snow, wet snow that is, for parts of this region. So let's get you going with what we've got out there right now. Your satellite and radar showing kind of a busy morning in a couple of spots across parts of the mid-Atlantic and stretching out into the Appalachians. We've got some of that rain, a mix of some rain and snow for places like Boston, stretching up into Maine and back towards parts of New York. We've got a little bit of a kind of couple of days of this rain and snow that we're going to have to deal with. Today is one of those days. You can see much of that moisture working into this region. So a good soaking rain is what you can expect from the mid-Atlantic to the Northeast today. This will bring us potentially some isolated flooding. It'll be minor, not all that widespread, but we could see some of that across this region. Then this area of low pressure kind of sits just offshore and ushers in more of this rain and a little bit of that lingering moisture for tomorrow across the mid-Atlantic. By Sunday, most of the showers will be focused closer to the coast. So that's the good news there. We'll start to see some improvements. In the meantime, flash flood outlook today does include a marginal risk for Washington, D.C., Roanoke, Raleigh, with all of that moisture working through. And by the time we get to tonight, we could pick up a couple of inches. Not crazy amounts of rain across this region, but Washington, D.C., maybe an inch, Richmond, an inch or two, about a half of an inch expected for New York when it's all said and done. And on top of that, we've got the snow that we're tracking. It's going to be the wet snow in those higher elevations, I think upwards of 4, maybe 5 inches as we get through tonight. Big picture look at the country when it comes to temperatures. Boy, we've got two different stories happening. East Coast running cooler than normal. And then the West Coast, who turned up the heat? We've got 100 degrees expected in Phoenix today, running 10, 15, even close to 25 degrees above normal for much of this region. We'll see the potential for some of those record highs. And we keep that warmth going even into tomorrow. More record highs likely across the Southwest. Parts of the plains will see temperatures into the 70s. But we've got 90s on tap for parts of Texas, triple digits for Phoenix. And then, Joe, this is what you want to see, isn't it? Some 70s as we get started next week across parts of the East. So we'll get some more spring-like temperatures for our friends in that region.
That's good. So 100 degrees or snow. Which
yeah,
do you
what
pick?
Do you choose?
Which one do you want?
At this point in April, I'm going with 100 degrees. I need a tan.
It's a dry heat. It's a dry heat, right?
It's a dry heat, they say.
Thanks, Angie. Appreciate it. Much more to come here on Morning News Now. Later this hour, limited release, how Hollywood could soon become a casualty in the ongoing trade war. Up first after the break, a Russian-American ballerina back on American soil after more than a year in Russian custody. Her emotional return next. We'll be right back. Welcome back. A woman with dual citizenship is waking up on U.S. soil this morning after more than a year in Russian custody. Ksenia Karolina, a former ballerina, was convicted of treason for donating to a charity providing aid to Ukraine. She landed in Washington late last night. She was met by her boyfriend, a UFC fighter, who hugged her as others cheered for the long-awaited reunion. NBC News Chief Capitol Hill correspondent Ryan Nobles joins us now from Joint Base Andrews, where she arrived. Ryan, good to have you with us. So just walk us through the behind-the-scenes negotiations for Karolina's release so she could have this happy reunion overnight.
Well, there's no doubt, Joe, that these were high-stakes negotiations involving both Donald Trump, Vladimir Putin, and then, of course, Dana White, who is the leader, the CEO of the UFC, the Ultimate Fighting Championship, as you point out, that her boyfriend is a mixed martial artist. And this back and forth took some time, but it ultimately ended in a prisoner swap where a German Russian who was in a United States prison accused of stealing U.S. microelectronics and giving them to Russian companies was released in exchange for this ballerina. This is something that many experts believe is the first step toward normalizing relations between the United States and Russia. Of course, it comes after a period of time where we've seen a number of prisoner swaps of Americans that were detained in the United States that were then returned back here to the United States. Among them, of course, Evan Gershkovich, the former Wall Street Journal reporter, and then, of course, Brittany Griner, the star WNBA player. Joe.
So, Ryan, what more can you tell us about Karolina's background and just why she was detained in the first place?
Well, she was a world-class ballerina who had then settled in the United States on the West Coast. She was working as an esthetician, and she is accused of donating $51.80 to a Ukrainian charity. It's a charity that helps people in that country on the same day as the invasion into Ukraine by Russia began. Now, she was then visiting family in Russia when Russian authorities discovered this charitable donation, arrested her, and then put her on trial. She was actually given trial in the same exact court as Evan Gerskovich and was ultimately convicted of high treason. She served more than a year in that Russian jail before this prisoner swap was facilitated by the Kremlin and the White House.
And Ryan, this exchange indicates the Trump administration and Russia remain in contact. That's despite these stalled efforts by the U.S. to try and get a ceasefire in Ukraine. What are the latest developments on ceasefire negotiations?
Well, they do appear to be stalled. There's not much progress at all when it appeared at one point that the two sides were at least willing to negotiate some sort of narrow ceasefire agreement. But the leaders of the United States and Russia have been meeting in Turkey. There was a meeting that took place yesterday. So, Joe, there is some hope that there can be a path forward here. But there are still deep divisions between the Ukrainian government and the Russian government over what the provisions around a ceasefire would look like. So there doesn't appear to be a path to ending this war anytime soon. Joe.
Ryan Nobles, thank you so much. A vacation to the Bahamas has turned tragic for a family from Maryland. A young man stepped away from dinner with his parents and was later found dead on the beach at a popular resort. But after local police provided a cause of death, his family is now rejecting the explanation and demanding more answers. NBC News correspondent Kathy Park has those details.
A Maryland family desperately looking for answers after a tragic loss while on vacation. 23-year-old aspiring music producer Denari McCalmont was found dead on the beach at the Bahamas Atlanta's Paradise Island Resort. They arrived at the sprawling, globally recognized vacation destination last Friday, but less than 24 hours into their trip, his aunt told NBC News Washington Denari was gone. The Royal Bahamas police say a pathologist determined Denari's cause of death to be drowning, adding no foul play is currently suspected as the investigation continues. But his aunt says that doesn't add up.
We don't have answers. We don't really know, but it's very frustrating. Seems as though everything is being pushed under the rug.
His family saying they were initially told by police that there was an altercation at a restaurant before the death.
They said he spat on someone and ran through a door.
Denari's grief-stricken mother telling Bahamas Eyewitness News she was shown a photo of her son's body, and it didn't look like just a drowning.
My son was bitten. He was traumatized. His face is damaged. That tells me they beat my son down in that sand. I need justice for my baby. I need justice.
The Royal Bahamas police not immediately responding to NBC News' request for comment on the family's allegations. Atlanta's Paradise Island saying in part, our condolences are with the guest's family and loved ones during this difficult time, adding, we are fully cooperating with the investigation. Denari's disappearance is now the second high-profile case in recent years to raise concerns about police response in the Bahamas. Last June, a Chicago woman, Taylor Casey, went missing at a yoga retreat on the island. Her family accusing the police of mishandling the investigation and dragging their feet.
I need them on the island to act like it's their child that's missing.
Police at the time rejecting those allegations.
We used our drone technology. We used our canine. We've used our divers.
Casey's whereabouts are still unknown. Meanwhile, Denari's family living their own nightmare as they demand more answers amid the heartache.
But we're just here in the dark. We really need some help, some eyewitness, somebody to come forward and help us to just solve this puzzle.
Kathy Park, NBC News.
Coming up, it looks like a scene straight out of the movies. A couple locked in the back of a moving truck during a wild police chase, and it was all caught on camera. What we're learning about how it all went down. This is Morning News Now. Welcome back. A couple is recovering in New Mexico this morning after a wild police chase involving a U-Haul truck. It raced through Santa Fe with a man and woman allegedly locked in the back against their will, and it was all caught on camera. NBC News correspondent Steve Patterson spoke to the officer who stopped the driver.
Take over 218, take over comms, take over comms.
A harrowing high-speed police pursuit, tearing through the streets of Santa Fe, all started early Tuesday. Neighbors noticing the screaming, pleading, banging coming from the back of this U-Haul box truck. Police say a man and woman were helping the driver, 50-year-old Stacy Walker, clean out the rental vehicle when he suddenly slammed the rear door, trapping them inside.
Regardless of how they got there, they were placed in a very dangerous situation.
Responding squad cars nearly clipped by the U-Haul, running a red light at high speed. Then racing through residential neighborhoods, barreling over speed bumps, through stop signs, over sidewalks, and finally...
He's crashing out, he's crashing out. There's a spike.
A spike strip.
All tires are out, all tires are out.
But the driver doesn't stop, veering into oncoming traffic, raining debris from the truck's ruptured tires, before finally being brought to a stop.
Stop the vehicle! Stop the vehicle!
Are we lucky that this didn't end in a different way?
Absolutely.
Walker, arrested at gunpoint, now faces fleeing, assault, and kidnapping charges. While police noticed that banging from the back of the truck one last time, rescuing the kidnapped couple with just minor injuries. Saved just in time, thanks to the high-speed heroics of a few good men.
We're sworn to serve and protect, and I believe we did that.
Steve Patterson, NBC News.
Glad they are okay. All right, coming up, the trade war driving up costs for American automakers. We're going to break down the numbers from a new study and what it could mean for you. And a new spin on an old favorite. We are celebrating Record Store Day with a look at the lasting power of playing music on vinyl. Morning News Now. We'll be right back. We're back with China's latest retaliation against the U.S. over the trade war. China's film administration says it will decrease the number of movies it allows U.S. studios to release in the country. If that happens, it could cripple some of Hollywood's biggest box office draws, which rely on international ticket sales. NBC News entertainment correspondent Chloe Malas breaks it down.
Some of the biggest American movies of all time.
Whatever it takes.
Huge hits at the box office in the U.S. and fans flooding theaters worldwide. What do they have in common? China, driving those ticket sales higher. But as the growing tariff tit-for-tat between the U.S. and China shows no signs of slowing down, Beijing's going beyond cash, now targeting culture and going after one of America's most premier exports, Hollywood. The China Film Administration, the government body that regulates movie releases, announcing it's reducing U.S. film imports, though it's unclear what the drop will be from the 34 movies the country typically allows.
China can't afford not to match what he's doing, can't be seen to be weak.
Trump brushing off the move.
I think I've heard of worse things.
Tracking China's relationship with Hollywood has long been like following a complicated script. U.S. studios battle to get their movies approved to be released in China, the world's second largest movie market. You see the numbers, over $8 billion a year here versus more than $5 billion there last year. Some going so far to compromise the art with the country's censorship laws, like in Top Gun Maverick, who initially scrubbed out a Taiwanese flag patch in a 2019 trailer, reversed after backlash, costing the movie the Chinese market, even as it's made more than $1 billion globally.
I am pretty despicable.
Or even in Minions: Rise of the Gru, produced by our parent company, NBC Universal, a whole new ending edited just for the Chinese market. But American studios often reaped the rewards. In 2019, Avengers Endgame, the second highest grossing movie ever, saw $600 million of its nearly $3 billion box office sales coming from China. But as relations have frayed, so has Hollywood's presence in Beijing.
If you look at the more recent developments, post-COVID, for example, you see that the China market is simply not there.
Absolutely. The current #1 hit here in the U.S., a Minecraft movie, $314 million worldwide, but only $14 million in China. Chinese filmgoers now seem to want to see films that celebrate their own country and domestic production. Take Ne Zha 2, the animated film earning over $1 billion, the first non-Hollywood film to break that mark in China, now threatening the overall box office record for any movie in any language. Experts say the combination of reducing American films and the ongoing trade war sparked by President Trump could lead to a lasting cultural shift.
If under the current situation with the tariffs, if you go to a theater to see an American film, you're seen as not patriotic.
While Hollywood has lost some influence in Beijing, movies there can still bring in big money. And as the industry is still recovering from the pandemic and dual labor strikes, curbing U.S. film imports could mean a potential loss in revenue from future releases like Superman, raising questions about whether losing a once prized market could close the curtain on Hollywood's high-dollar success. Chloe Malas, NBC News.
Let's dig into a new study showing just how much those tariffs might cost the auto industry. CNBC's Savannah Henao has that and some other money headlines. Savannah, good morning.
Hey, Joe, good morning and happy Friday, too. So, yeah, like you mentioned, a new study finds President Trump's 25% tariffs on imported cars could hike costs for automakers by more than $100 billion this year. Now, the Center for Automotive Research saying Ford, GM, and Stellantis, that's the maker of Jeep and Ram trucks, will see increased costs of $42 billion and an average of about $5,000 for parts they import for each car made here. Now, tariffs have pushed automakers to shift production, with GM increasing output at a plant in Indiana. Tesla has stopped taking new orders for the Model S and for the Model X on its website in China as the U.S. and China ratchet up their trade war. Both electric vehicles are made in the U.S. and exported to China. Tesla makes the Model 3 and the Model Y at its plant in Shanghai that are sold in China and exported to markets such as Europe, making up the majority of its sales. Tesla hasn't responded to a request for comment. And Miller High Life is bringing your favorite bar to your living room or man cave. It's releasing dive bar sounds. It's a limited edition vinyl record that's literally infused with the so-called champagne of beers. Now, the album has 7 tracks with names like Regulars Remix and Last Call Symphony, and it's being released to coincide with the launch of the soundtrack to the High Life. That's a new platform spotlighting musicians, Joe.
All right, just don't break that record, all right?
Ooh, no.
Savannah, thanks so much. And that is the perfect segue to our next story, because tomorrow, April 12th, marks one of the biggest days for indie music lovers in the U.S., Record Store Day. The event was founded more than a decade ago as a way to celebrate the staff, customers, and artists who are part of the nearly 1,400 independently owned record stores all across the country. Now, this once-a-year event is celebrated around the world. Jeremy Larson is Deputy Director of Pitchfork, an online magazine, joins me now with more on this. Jeremy, good morning. So tell us a little more about the history of Record Store Day and how it has grown in popularity.
Yeah, thanks, Joe. Good morning. I mean, Record Store Day has been around since about 2007. And, you know, it originally started by a local groups of small record stores just trying to get people out of their houses and go rediscover the joy of having vinyl. And this was sort of right when vinyl resurgence and right when vinyl was starting to come back. You know, when streaming services came along, everybody was very excited to have the ability to have all of their music in one place. And, you know, some people just sort of threw away their CDs or their vinyl or whatever. But I think people realized that the connection you have to music is so tangible, and you really have to have a physical object with you to hold on and create like those meaningful memories. And that's where I think Record Store Day really comes in. It's getting people to reconnect with music, reconnect with it in a very emotional way, in a way that like music is so emotional to everybody who, you know, experiences it.
Let's take a look at some of the numbers here. The Recording Industry Association of America says last year in the U.S., overall vinyl record sales hit $1.4 billion. This was actually the 18th consecutive year vinyl sales have increased. Why does vinyl keep growing in popularity? Does this Record Store Day help boost some of those sales too?
Yeah, it really does. I mean, Record Store Days, I mean, when I think it's, let's see here. I mean, there's 1.7 million physical units during the week of Record Store Day, with 82%, being vinyl records. Like, that's a huge growth in just 1 week. But, the reason why people, like I said, are drawn to records is that because that music it can be very ephemeral, it's very hard to describe. Like, my job as a music critic, obviously, it's trying to describe why people like the things that they like. But I think, as you can see, even with big artists like Taylor Swift and Adele, they're pushing tons and tons of their records onto a new generation, because a new generation really wants to have something, to remember this music by and to remember this moment by.
We only have a few seconds here, but what are perhaps the most anticipated releases we're watching for on Saturday?
So I have two for you. One is an incredible Jamaican dancehall record, Sister Nancy 1-2. It's been out of print forever. It's kindly coming back. This is one of the best dancehall records of all time. Yeah. And then, Joe, I know you're from Minnesota, so I really got to shout out The Replacements, Tim.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. There's a new remix of this record that was previously only available on a big box set, and now they're selling it on a 2 LP set, really cheap. Best bang for your buck. You can really get to experience one of the greatest rock and roll records of all time in a whole new light.
Jeremy Larson doing his research. Thanks for joining us this morning. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Joe. Have a good one.
Coming up, he is flipping the script from the TV screen to the bookstore. Drag legend Bob the Drag Queen out with a new book. I'm going to share our conversation next on Morning News Now. We're ending this hour with our series Flipping the Script, featuring people on screen, on stage, and today on the page, shining a spotlight on diversity. Enter Bob the Drag Queen, a drag legend, actor, activist, reality TV personality, winning season 8 of RuPaul's Drag Race, and now a best-selling author. His recently published book, Harriet Tubman, Live in Concert, was just listed among the New York Times bestsellers. I recently sat down with Bob the Drag Queen for a wide-ranging interview where we talked about everything from that book to his love of reality shows. Bob the Drag Queen, we are so excited to have you with us. I still think the best drag name in the business.
I'm going to go ahead and give myself that accolade as well, but I really believe in myself.
It's just so simple and amazing. I love it. Let's start with the book. Congratulations on being the New York Times best-selling. What does that mean to you to be on that list?
Well, when I first announced I was writing the book, there were a few people who were like, stay in your lane, stick to wearing dresses. I'm like, I still wear dresses. I would like to assure you, I still wear dresses when it's appropriate. Changing. But when I grab my pen and paper, as if I'm writing a book in pen and paper, I'm wearing a Snuggie.
I do still write with pen and paper, so it's okay if
like a book? That'd be crazy.
Well, a book, I haven't done that. But, so, I mean, Harriet Tubman Live.
Pen and paper? Let me see.
This is a piece of paper.
There's pen on there.
There's pen on there.
Confirmed,
see, there you go.
Confirmed.
There you go. So, this book, what is it about? Because it's a bit of a, I don't know if it's a provocative title, but it certainly gets people's attention.
No,
right?
the title is provocative. I see how on the cover it sounds like an SNL sketch, but I promise it is not. It's about Harriet Tubman coming back to life and continuing her work as an abolitionist, and she wants to make a hip-hop album to do it. So she enlists the help of Darnell, a semi-retired hip-hop producer, to help her write her opus magnum, help her write her greatest work yet.
Where did this idea come from?
There's a lot of strange things going on in my in my head, and this was just one of my brainchilds that I had. I was working at the Berkeley Repertory Theater at the time, and I just remember being like, I feel like I really have to get this idea out there. I was doing Angels in America at the Berkeley Rep, and then I was told by Tony Ciccone, the creative director, that they have a program where you can work on your ideas, your projects.
So I know someone wanted you to write a memoir, and you were not interested in that.
No, my memoir would not be interesting. I think people think it'd be crazy, but it's honestly, I don't do anything crazy. I don't drink. I don't do drugs. I don't even like going to restaurants, really. So I'm really just at home playing video games all day. So I don't think it'd be very interesting. And I wouldn't want to read that either. I don't want to write the kind of book that I would want to read.
What I think is also great about this is that the cover of the book, those are actually Harriet Tubman's hands?
Yes. Yes, obviously not holding a microphone. No, the microphone was thanks to Adobe. But those are actually Harriet Tubman's hands holding it. We photoshopped the microphone in there. Yeah.
I think a theme in your life and your career, whether it's doing drag, whether it's stand-up comedy, which I know is such a big deal to you, and this book is using humor to broach sensitive topics.
Yeah.
Why is that so important?
Well, I mean, here's how I get through everything in life. Obviously, it's important to me. It's not important to everyone, you know what I mean? Like, just last night, I actually did this show called Dead Moms Club, which is where all the comedians, our moms have passed away. We're going to be releasing it for free on YouTube on Mother's Day. And it's just a way of, like, healing through laughter and through bonding and through shared experiences. So I use humor in all of my work. Even when it is particularly grim, I use humor in a lot of my work.
Obviously, reality TV has been a huge part of your life.
Some would say.
Drag Race, not to mention The Traitors. I understand there's one reality show you still want to do. Is that right?
Yeah, I would, because I've done Last Comic Standing.
Yes.
I did America's Got Talent. I was probably on Cops at some point. Don't look it up. But I would say I would still do The Amazing Race with my best friend, Monet Exchange.
Monet Exchange.
Yes,
all right. Monet
would.
Exchange was also on Flipping the Script, we should note, a few months ago, too.
Oh,
so
nice.
There you go.
Nice.
Why do you want to do that with Monet?
Well, we have a really interesting relationship. We really are like siblings in real life. We argue all the time, but we also are very effective. We get a lot of stuff done. So I feel like between the madness of our relationship and then how goal-oriented we both are, I feel like we'd get a lot done.
You think you'd win?
Oh, 100%.
You'd win. 100%.
That's how I go in everything.
Guaranteed.
It didn't work for me in Traitors, but I thought I was going to win, and that's all that matters.
That's all that matters. Last thing I want to ask you, you had, I think, the dream job last year, Madonna, the Madonna concert. What was that experience like?
You know, everyone asks me what it's like to work with Madonna. Is anyone asking Madonna what it was like
if
to
we could
work
get the
with
interview,
me?
we would.
Obviously, you know, it was so many things. I wish I could sum it up quickly, but I wouldn't be able to. It was a year and a half of my life. You know what I mean? She's the hardest worker I've ever met in my life. And I've met a lot of people. She is the hardest worker I've ever met out of everyone. She will go the furthest. She will go the longest. She will go the hardest. She's really intense. And also her fan base is just so remarkable and what she means to people. You can really tell that Madonna's been with people throughout there. She was there at their weddings. Her music was playing at their graduation. She was there when they were sick. She was there when their parents passed away. She was there through the HIV and AIDS crisis in the 80s and 90s when their friends were passing. She was there when they graduated from college. So she's been there for so many people. So to see her on stage, you can see how much she means to people.
Next time I see Madonna, I will ask her what it was like working with Bob the Drag Queen. Thank you so much. Congrats.
She'll slap you.
Congrats on all your success. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
And Bob the Drag Queen's book, Harriet Tubman Live in Concert, is available now. That does it for this hour of Morning News Now. Stay with us. The news continues right now. Good Friday morning. I'm Joe Fryer. Savannah is off today. Right now on Morning News Now, applying pressure. New developments in President Trump's global tariff tirade. China now firing back, raising levies on U.S. goods to 125%. So what might that mean for American manufacturing, and how are Wall Street and the White House reacting? We are watching it all. Tragedy over the Hudson. 6 people are dead this morning, including 3 children, after a sightseeing helicopter plunged into New York's Hudson River. But we're learning about the victims and the harrowing accounts from those who witnessed the crash. Plus, a possible path home from the Maryland man wrongly deported to an El Salvador prison. The Supreme Court decision that could drastically shake up the Trump administration's aggressive immigration crackdown. And we finally made it to Friday, so grab your morning popcorn. Later in the hour, we've got your full rundown of the latest and greatest from the world of entertainment in this week's Can't Miss list. Let's begin this hour with the intensifying trade war between the United States and China. This morning, Beijing is again hitting back against the U.S. by raising its tariffs on American imports to 125%. Now, that is in response to the U.S. upping its levies on China to 145% yesterday. This ongoing tit-for-tat continues to roil U.S. stocks, which closed deep in the red on Thursday. NBC News Chief White House correspondent Peter Alexander has the latest.
Good morning to you. This morning, China is retaliating against President Trump's latest tariff hike, raising its own tariffs on American goods to 125%, as this fast-moving trade war fuels new fears of a global recession and concerns about the price Americans pay for everything from toys to tech.
This morning, the trade war between the world's 2 biggest economies heating up. China slapping a new tariff on the United States, raising the tax on American goods to 125%. With China one of the main importers of U.S. goods, that move is likely to affect American farmers and companies. And China's President Xi Jinping is now responding to President Trump for the first time, saying that China does not fear economic suppression, but adding there are no winners in a tariff war. It comes after the White House clarified it had raised tariffs on China to 145%.
I think that we'll end up working out something that's very good for both countries.
The U.S. tariff policies for the rest of the world remain uncertain. The president keeping a 10% baseline tax in place, even as he paused higher tariffs on dozens of trading partners. President Trump saying he's punishing countries who he insists treat the U.S. unfairly in trade. But experts warn many of those costs will be passed on to American consumers. According to a new estimate, all the tariffs could end up costing American households an extra $4,700 in purchasing power. The president acknowledging there will be short-term economic pain.
There'll be a transition cost and transition problems, but in the end, it's going to be a beautiful thing.
Amazon CEO telling CNBC's Andrew Ross Sorkin it will likely lead to higher prices.
I think we'll have to see how it all plays out. But if you made me guess, I'm guessing that that sellers will pass that cost on.
This morning, Wall Street is set to wrap up one of the most volatile weeks in the stock market's history. The Dow, S&P, and NASDAQ all plunging again on Thursday, erasing part of the historic recovery just 24 hours earlier. The president downplaying the sell-off.
We're very, very happy with the way the country's running.
China says its new tariffs are set to go into effect on American goods tomorrow. The market's euphoria earlier this week that the president might be backing away from this trade war appears to have been premature. J.P. Morgan Chase making clear it is not changing its prediction that the U.S. will plunge into a recession as a result of the president's policies, blaming what it calls the largest tax hike since World War II. Back to you.
All right, Peter, thank you so much. Let's get some analysis on this unfolding trade war with NBC News senior business correspondent Christine Romans. Okay, so now we've got 145% one way, 125% another way. What is this eventually going to mean for the prices that we pay every day?
I mean, these tariffs are now so high, it could mean the disruption of business between these two countries, and essentially the Chinese government saying that overnight. They said that we're going to match the president's tariffs, but we're not going to do it again. It would be a joke to raise these tariffs again, because at that point, your goods are unsellable to each other. So we're kind of, I think we're at an impasse here.
So probably not going to go any higher, but because this is about as high as it can possibly get.
Yeah, and people feel it. I mean, people will really feel it. You're talking about a lot of different companies that are importing things and trying to order for the fall. That's a lot of extra money. To be handed a 125 or 145% bill at the border, that's a lot of money.
Let's talk about the stock market yesterday. We had the gains on Wednesday. Those were pretty much erased yesterday. Is this what we are going to expect now, this volatility? What's going on?
I think so. I mean, since the president was in the Rose Garden last week and announced all of these tariffs, some of which he has since paused, the stock market is down 6 or 7%, and you've seen record volumes. But outside of the stock market, you've got the bond market 4 times bigger, and then the dollar has been down 5 days in a row. So we're watching carefully to see if international investors are losing confidence in the U.S. being sort of the center of the world, literally. So that's what we're watching in markets to see how all investors are responding.
We saw yesterday the inflation report come out. It was a little better than expected. Month over month was actually a bit of a decline, but that doesn't include any of these tariffs here. So how should we take in all this information?
I mean, that inflation report, boy, I would have loved to have seen that last year when we were so obsessed with inflation. Now we're obsessed with tariffs. You saw declines in airfare and car insurance, used cars, hotels, gas prices. But you're right, it's a rear view mirror. Now the tariff stress will likely start coming through in some of these numbers. We don't know exactly how it's going to play out and when, but we know that inflation isn't the only problem now. Slowing growth, maybe rising unemployment, big costs in the pipeline. So the economic picture has become a lot more complicated, and that's on purpose because of the president's tariffs that he's trying to remake the global economy.
All right, Christine Romans, always good to have you with us. Thank you so much. Investigators are working to figure out what caused a deadly helicopter crash here in New York City. It happened yesterday. A sightseeing helicopter seemed to fall apart midair before crashing into the Hudson River between Manhattan and New Jersey. All 6 people on board were killed. NBC News correspondent Sam Brock joins us now from near the crash scene with the latest. Sam, good morning.
Yeah, Joe, good morning. Look, it could be a little while before we get any sort of resolution. What is clear, that video that you just referenced clearly shows the helicopter falling apart and plunging into the icy river behind me. Now, here's the thing, Joe. We don't know if those 6 passengers who were on board died from exposure to the water or it was the impact of the crash. But either way, right now, the NTSB and the FAA have both launched teams as crews are still working to remove some of the wreckage.
In a matter of seconds, a helicopter fell from the sky and plunged into the Hudson River.
Everybody was like screaming. We were crying.
Claiming 6 lives, including a family on a sightseeing trip.
Be advised, we have a helicopter in the water.
Rescue boats and divers immediately swarming the area near New Jersey's shoreline.
It sounded like something was just breaking.
Bruce Wall took this video as he says he watched the rotor blades and tail snap.
I mean, at that point, I'm pretty sure the helicopter already hit the water and the blade was just starting to come down. The tail was a couple feet back.
Another video showing parts of the chopper falling into the water. Others stunned by the noise from across the river.
I heard it sounded like a engine just dying, and it was like do 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 do, and I just turned, I looked, and I saw the helicopter crash and splash into the water.
Panic went through your mind, I'm sure.
Yeah, right away I called 911.
The aircraft ultimately flipping upside down.
The helicopter the main body of it started to fall backwards into the water.
As the passengers on board, all killed, including the pilot and a family on a trip from Spain. Now identified as Agustin Escobar, an executive of Siemens Spain, and his wife Mercè Comprube Montal, a New York City Hall spokesperson, tells NBC News. The couple traveling with their 3 children, according to the Spanish government.
We're lifting them up in prayer.
In an interview with The Telegraph, the owner of New York Helicopter Tours telling the paper that the pilot had called in that he was landing and that he needed fuel, and it should have taken him about 3 minutes to arrive. But 20 minutes later, he didn't arrive, adding, "We're all devastated." First responders rushing into the water in minutes.
They did everything they can to try to save these victims.
And late into the night, emergency crews working to recover the wreckage.
It's terrifying to see something that large kind of break up. We started praying.
Joe, just in really 15, 20 minutes ago, the mayor of Jersey City, the jurisdiction where this happened, just posted a tweet saying some context right now because life moves quickly and it's unpredictable. He said that the family in this case that died, they were celebrating the mom's 40th birthday and that their kids were 11 years old or younger. And just to think about your family in the context of that, as they're working right now, I guess the brother-in-law of the family that died is coming in town to identify them and to try to get them expedited back to Spain. But think about this in the context of your family, is what he said.
Just so hard to hear that. We're thinking of their family. Sam, thank you so much. We are joined now by Alicia Allen. She witnessed the helicopter crash yesterday. Alicia, thank you so much for joining us. We understand you were in your apartment when this crash happened. Just walk us through what you saw and what you heard as this all unfolded.
Yeah, so I live right next to where the incident happened. I heard a loud thud. I looked up. I was coincidentally right next to my window, and I just saw a helicopter with parts falling off, especially the propeller blades falling off, parts of the helicopter, and then it instantly descended down and crashed into the water upside down. So the body of the helicopter was, submerged in the water. It took a few seconds to even comprehend what was going on.
So what we've seen in this video is the exact same thing you witnessed as well.
Yeah. I saw that right in front of my eyes. It happened so quick in a matter of seconds. It just crashed into the water, and then, not shortly after, the rescue team, people running to the site, and
How quickly did you see those first responders get to the scene? What did you witness when it came to the rescue efforts?
They came pretty much straight away. This you can't actually. No one can access where the helicopter crashed. You can't go right next to the shore. So the rescue team came, people on water boats came, they sectioned off the whole pathway right next to the instant crash. And, because we live right here, late into the night, the the rescue team was there, picking up the pieces. So it was well into the night that they were there.
You also took some video of the scene after the crash. We're going to show some of that video right now, but talk about what was happening at this point in time when you started recording.
Yeah, so this was, the helicopter was still, upside down, submerged into the water. You see a rescue team, you see helicopters, firefighters came to the site, policemen were literally running. So there were so many people there just trying to, save those lives and get there as soon as possible. And that happened for the next, 20 minutes, half an hour, to the next hour where, they sectioned off the whole area. And, I think everyone was trying to just reach and save those lives.
A lot of tourists visit New York City throughout the year. Do you usually just see a lot of air traffic around your apartment?
I do, yeah. So I've lived here for the past year now, and nothing of the sort. I couldn't even imagine anything like this happening. You see quite a few helicopters, planes, going around, flying around the area, but yeah, nothing. I wouldn't have expected anything like this.
You just heard our Sam Brock report there. This was a family visiting from Spain. We just heard that the mother celebrating her 40th anniversary along with their 3 kids, ages 11 and under. When you hear that, just what goes through your mind?
It's heartbreaking. I mean, that could have, been me. I've always looked at those helicopter tours and, it seems fun, it seems interesting. And it saddens me that when I saw this in front of my eyes, I can't imagine what they went through during the time. Just looking at it was so shocking. But actually being in the helicopter whilst it was descending down, whilst it crashed, I can't imagine what they went through. I just pray that them and their family, go through this time with ease.
Alicia Allen, we appreciate your time this morning. Thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome. Thank you.
An American ballerina who spent over a year in a Russian prison is waking up on U.S. soil this morning after a prisoner swap with Russia. She was initially sentenced to 12 years in prison on accusations of treason. Now Ksenia Karolina is home, landing in Washington late last night. There, she had this joyous reunion with her boyfriend, a UFC fighter. NBC News Chief Capitol Hill correspondent Ryan Nobles joins us now with the latest on this. Ryan, good morning.
Hey, Joe, good morning. And Ksenia Karolina landed here at Joint Base Andrews just around 11 o'clock last night. She was accused of giving $52 to a Ukrainian charity shortly after the war broke out with Russia. A Russian court convicted her of high treason. Her return back to the United States, the result of a high-stakes negotiation between the Kremlin, the White House, and the leader of the UFC. Overnight, an American citizen taking her first steps back on U.S. soil after spending more than a year jailed in Russia. Ksenia Karolina, a former ballet dancer and U.S.-Russian dual national, all smiles, disembarking from the plane that flew her to freedom, hugging her boyfriend and thanking President Trump.
I'm so grateful for you to bring me home and for American government. And I never felt more blessed to be American, and I'm so happy to get home.
President Trump saying his administration secured her release with the help of UFC chief Dana White.
We spoke to President Putin about it, and they made a deal. They released the young ballerina, and she is now out, and that was good, so we appreciate that.
In this photo, Karolina beaming after she touched down in Abu Dhabi, where the prisoner swap took place. The U.S. exchanging her with a Russian-German man who U.S. officials say had smuggled American microelectronics to Russian military factories. Russian authorities detained Karolina while she was visiting her family in the city of Yekaterinburg during the winter of 2024. A resident of Los Angeles who'd become an esthetician, Karolina had made a $51.80 donation to a U.S. humanitarian group that sends aid to Ukraine shortly after Russia's invasion in 2022, according to a Russian legal group. She was tried and found guilty in the same court as Evan Gerskovich, the Wall Street Journal reporter who spent more than a year in Russian custody before being released in 2024. in one of several recent high-profile prisoner swaps after what experts said was a growing number of Americans arrested in Russia in recent years. As Karelina returns to her life in the U.S., her boyfriend writing on Instagram that he was a little in shock, adding that God answers prayers. And this prisoner swap is seen as an effort by the United States and Russia to normalize relations. This as President Trump continues his efforts to try and bring an end to the war with Ukraine. Right now, talks around a ceasefire have stalled, although negotiators have met in Turkey yesterday in search of a path forward. Joe.
All right, Ryan, thank you so much. This morning, a Maryland father who was mistakenly deported could be one step closer to coming home. The Supreme Court ruled yesterday the Trump administration must facilitate the return of Kilmar Abrego Garcia. He was deported to El Salvador's mega prison last month, along with men the administration accused of being gang members. Happened in what immigration officials have described as an administrative error. Well, they allege that Abrego Garcia has gang ties. He has never been charged with or convicted of a crime. In an email to NBC News, his attorney said, quote, "The rule of law won today. Time to bring him home." NBC News legal analyst Danny Ceballos is here to help break down this case for us. So we know that the DOJ was trying to contest this district judge order that had set a deadline for Garcia to be retrieved from prison midnight Monday. Obviously, that deadline is come and gone. So what happens next?
Good question. What happens procedurally is now the case goes back down to the district court to flesh out what exactly the court meant by effectuate the return of Garcia. And I'm not so sure this means that Garcia is going to be home anytime soon, because what I am certain is going to happen is that once this gets back to the district court, the administration is going to take the position that whatever the district court defines as effectuating the return of Garcia is something that the administration will say is beyond the powers of the district court. So, for example, if they say, thou shalt, Trump administration, you must negotiate with this foreign government, the administration is going to say, as they already have, hey, you're encroaching upon an exclusive power of the executive branch, which is to negotiate and international relations, and this is just not your area. So we're going to be right back where we started, and this case might come right back up to the Supreme Court.
Yeah, I was about to say that seems to be the likely scenario here, because basically the Supreme Court doesn't say how this needs to be facilitated, right?
In a way, well, the word effectuate is the magic word, and they say that the district court may have exceeded its power. So the way I see it, they're saying district court order to return Garcia stays in effect. But district court, you now have to explain how the heck you plan on telling the administration to do that. So I'm not so sure it's an order to bring him back, as it seems. Keep in mind also that the other part of the order says, yes, you must continue to facilitate his return, but all it says is that you have to do what you should have done procedurally. So Garcia could still be deported. And in fact, the 2019 order by the immigration law judge that allowed him to stay here only really technically precludes sending him back to El Salvador. There are hundreds of other countries that presumably are permissible. And as long as Garcia and all of these other detainees are given due process, whatever that is, presumably they can all still be removed.
Let's talk about another case that's getting a lot of headlines. Another immigration case involves Palestinian activist Mahmoud Khalil. He's the Columbia University grad student who was detained by immigration officials. The Trump administration is trying to deport him, even though legal permanent resident of the U.S. And this all happened, of course, after protests at Columbia over the war in Gaza. A district judge ordered the government show evidence why it should be allowed to continue detaining him when he hasn't been charged with a crime. Where do things stand here? What do you think happens next?
So this is a similar constellation of these cases. And the key here is what are the grounds? It all goes back to due process. We've had 2 Supreme Court cases in the last week or so. And all they really stand for is the idea that detainees should be given due process, procedural due process, which has historically meant notice, hey, you have a hearing, and then an actual hearing. It doesn't necessarily mean that any of these folks win. And even if the administration loses on its powers under the Alien Enemies Act, there's still regular removal. No court has said that, hey, even if you can't use the Alien Enemies Act, there are still the normal paths and procedures to removing someone. So all of those remain in place. In a way, when the smoke clears, it may be that the Trump administration can still remove all of these people. They may still be able to send them to CCOT in El Salvador. The difference may be that they didn't give the required procedure. So the fix will probably be bring them back, give them the procedure, the due process, and then do the exact same thing with them if it's warranted by the law, specifically the INA, another federal law that deals exclusively with these issues of removal.
All right, Danny Savalos, good to have you with us. Thank you so much. Weather now, temperatures will remain unseasonably warm across the West Coast, but chilly across the Mid-Atlantic, the Northeast this weekend. Let's get a closer look at your morning news now. Weather with Angie Lastman. Angie, good morning.
Hi, Joe. Good morning. Happy Friday. We made it so close to the weekend, and we've got kind of a tale of two sides of the country when it comes to our temperatures. Cooler than normal conditions settling in for the east. That's going to stay with us. And then we've got the warmth out west, potentially record-breaking in some spots. Notice Phoenix is expected to hit 100 degrees today. We've got really anywhere west of Kansas, we've got temperatures running 10, 15, even close to 25 degrees above normal. This is going to last for the next couple of days, but fortunately for folks across the east, we're starting to see that chill ease a little bit. We're still below normal, so 50s is all you're going to get in Detroit today. We've got high 60s for Tupelo, upper 50s for Roanoke. But by tomorrow, we'll start to get a little bit of an indication that that trend towards milder conditions starts to happen. Out west, another day as we get into your Saturday of potentially record highs. We've got 80s expected in Denver, Roswell heading to 96 degrees, another day of triple digits for Phoenix, and even as far north as Minneapolis, temperatures above normal and topping out into those upper 60s, low to mid 70s are expected for other parts of the Midwest like Kansas City. And then that takes us into the end of our weekend, where St. Louis, you round out the weekend at 77 degrees and you get back to those mid 60s for the beginning of the week. We'll see some upper 70s for Des Moines for the end of the weekend. We even get those 70s back in the picture for Cincinnati. That'll feel nice on Monday. And then New York City goes from those upper 50s to the mid 60s by both Monday and Tuesday. So an indication of some more spring-like typical temperatures that get back into the picture. As far as the rain and even snow is concerned, that's going to be what really gets your attention across the Mid-Atlantic and the Northeast through the day today and even into tomorrow. We've already got some of that happening, a bit of a mixed precip that's been going on for places like Boston early this morning. Some showers working through New York, Washington, D.C., Raleigh, even back towards the Appalachians, a little bit of that rain. And this is going to be kind of the trend that we see last through the day today and potentially into parts of your weekend. Here's what today looks like. This low pressure system sitting right offshore. This is going to work some of that rain in, and it honestly will be a good soaking rain. We'll see some pretty substantial rain, and that's why we're watching for that isolated concern for some minor flooding across that area. By tomorrow, the system's offshore, so a lot of the heavy rain will stay with it. But notice some of this kind of spins in the moisture and leaves us with still some showers lingering and a cool breeze across this region, but also some wet snow in those higher elevations. I think 1 inch to 2 inches is going to be on the high end of what we see as far as our rainfall, so no surprise with a little bit of flooding. And then there you go. There's the snow that we're still picking up in those higher elevations, Joe, across New England. It's April, but looking like January in some spots.
No kidding. Won't be going there if I don't have to.
Me neither.
But I put away the winter gear for now. Thanks, Angie. Appreciate it. Much more to come on this hour of Morning News Now, including the shark attack survivor who's inspiring action by lawmakers in Alabama to help beachgoers stay safe with a simple text. First, after the break, a fascinating new look inside Egypt's Golden City. We're taking you back in time more than 3,000 years to see how royalty lived. That's next. We are back with a rare look inside an ancient Egyptian city. It's dubbed the Golden City. It's an archaeological site that would have once been home to royalty like King Tut more than 3,000 years ago. Well, now stunning new details are emerging about what life was really like in ancient Egypt. NBC News chief international correspondent Keir Simmons is live near the pyramids of Giza with more. Keir, good morning.
Oh, Joe, I wish you were here, my friend. Those are the pyramids behind me. That is the legendary Sphinx over my left shoulder. Iconic. But what is incredible is that they are still discovering the secrets of ancient Egypt. Now, we've brought you The Lost City on NBC before, but now Dr. Zahi Hawass, that famous historian, brings us the latest discoveries. This morning, a world built by this ancient Egyptian pharaoh is being unearthed street by street.
The largest city ever found in Egypt. All this area completely new.
And all of this is new now?
Completely.
NBC News given exclusive access to a city from 3 millennia ago, A phenomenal find. 4 years on, they're still excavating.
You want to hold it?
There's new art, pottery painted with the portrait of a goddess.
Oh my goodness, that's incredible.
This is the royal jar for the king to drink.
Am I allowed to take it?
You are.
I'm not a king.
I give you a permission.
Okay, royal permission.
I'm the king.
Secrets of a golden city buried beneath the sand since the days of Nefertiti and Tutankhamun.
Nefertiti walked these streets. She would have known this place.
Of course, yes, because she lived here.
3,500 years ago, these pharaohs were like gods. Look at them. People's lives were turned upside down because of that.
The sun, new evidence suggests, slowly became the one god. Then a religious revolution. They were commanded to create a completely new community of worship.
The king decided to go to another city.
The buildings were bricked up and the entire city evacuated. An early Egyptian exodus, leaving their lives behind. From the mundane...
They wash their faces here and they pour the water down.
Oh, wow. So this is a wash basin?
Yeah.
Or a shower?
The remains of a cow.
To the bizarre. Animal skeletons arranged in rooms for religious rites.
This is the big lake.
Yes.
And back then, ships carried cargo to the city. Across the site, in a storeroom...
Oh, this is sandal of a child.
Children's shoes.
Tiny little Egyptian feet.
Yeah, exactly.
And a preserved fish, brushed with gold.
It's a real fish?
It's a real fish, yes, look.
Yeah, and then they covered it in gold?
Yes.
And even what looks like a tool for cooking pizza, still used today in nearby villages to make bread. A culinary connection through millennia to ancient ancestors who lived in this glorious golden city.
Amazing. And you know, Joe, we simply don't know why they left those rooms intact, why they left the contents there like that. Were they saying, yeah, we're going to do what you say, Mr. Ruler, but we aren't convinced that necessarily you are right? Meanwhile, Dr. Hawass begins his 3-month speaking tour of North America next month, Joe, in Phoenix.
Wow. The stories he has to tell and the stories you now have to tell after that incredible tour.
The stories.
Keir, thank you so much. That was incredible. I wish I was there with you as well. All right. Now to the latest on that devastating roof collapse in the Dominican Republic. This morning, some of the victims are being laid to rest as the death toll continues to rise. NBC News international correspondent Claudio Lavanga has that and some other world headlines. Claudio, good morning.
Joe, good morning. Well, that's right. Authorities in Santo Domingo on Thursday called off the search for more survivors, and they have updated that death toll from that tragedy to 221. On Thursday, also, several victims were buried, including Ruby Perez, the popular singer who was performing on stage when the roof of that nightclub collapsed. A memorial service for the singer was held at the capital's National Theatre with people lining up to pay their respects while the singer's most famous songs were being played out. An investigation into what caused the collapse has been launched, and the nightclub's owner said he will fully cooperate with the authorities. Let's go to Brussels now, where the Ukraine Defense Contact Group, an alliance of around 50 countries that coordinate military aid for Ukraine, met this morning. The alliance was founded and led by the United States shortly after Russia's invasion in 2022, but the Trump administration has taken a step back from that, and yet another proof of it is the fact that the U.S. Secretary of Defense today only attended virtually. The meeting was led by Germany and the UK, which ahead of the meeting announced a further £450 million, that's around $580 million, in military support to Kyiv. Let's end this tour of the world at the Vatican, where Pope Francis made a surprise appearance in St. Peter's Basilica. The Pope, who's still recovering from pneumonia, arrived in the Basilica in a wheelchair, but some of the faithful may have not recognized him immediately because he was not wearing the traditional white cassock and skull cap. Instead, he wore a white long-sleeve T-shirt, black pants, and a poncho. Whilst he was there, he admired the latest restoration of the Basilica, prayed at the tomb of Pius X, and waved at the pilgrims who could not believe he just showed up unannounced and in plain clothes, Joe.
Casual Pope. I love it. All right. Good to see him, Claudio. Thank you so much. Coming up, out of the water after the break, a new bill out of Alabama looking to help beachgoers stay safe from sharks after one high-profile attack sparked action from lawmakers. We'll explain next. Actor Eric Dane is revealing some shocking news about his health this morning. In an exclusive with People magazine, the Grey's Anatomy and Euphoria star shared that he has been diagnosed with ALS.
I came to Seattle for you.
Eric Dane has been a beloved TV star for decades, most prominently known as McSteamy on Grey's Anatomy.
That I am so glad that I don't work here.
Are you hitting on me? In the hospital?
Would that be wrong?
Now he's revealing a major medical update, telling People magazine in an exclusive interview, "I've been diagnosed with ALS. The devastating disease causes progressive muscle paralysis and has no cure." Dane, who's married to actress Rebecca Gayheart, went on to say, "I am grateful to have my loving family by my side as we navigate this next chapter," adding, "I kindly ask that you give my family and I privacy during this time." For 6 seasons on Grey's Anatomy, Dane won the hearts of Seattle Grace fans.
I bet you wish you'd taken the stairs right about now.
Playing plastic surgeon Dr. Mark Sloan, whose character grew from a shameless playboy.
We formed a club, Nurses United Against Mark Sloan.
Are there any club activities?
To a hopeless romantic.
Mark, I have a boyfriend.
I know. I'm saying you could have a husband.
Since then, he has taken on roles from movies.
This is the end of the road. One of them is about to die. You choose.
To hit TV shows like HBO's Euphoria.
I'm extremely confused.
The star often stopping by today, last year sharing that he is enjoying his bad boy roles.
Playing the villain's fun. I'm so not like any of these guys. Yeah. It's so funny.
Now, Dane tells People, "I feel fortunate that I am able to continue working." And that work will include season 3 of Euphoria. Dane says that he will return to the set of the hit show next week. Lawmakers in Alabama are one step closer to helping a teen survivor of a shark attack. She's trying to turn her trauma into action with a proposed law that could warn swimmers of danger in the water. The bill, inspired in part by her story, would create a statewide alert system to notify beachgoers after shark attacks. NBC News correspondent Marissa Parra joins us now from Miami with the details. Marissa, good morning.
Hey, Joe, good morning. Yeah, imagine getting an alert on your phone about a shark nearby. This is exactly what a victim, but a survivor of a shark attack is trying to do. She's pushing forward a bill named after her in hopes of making these waters safer.
Southern beaches are full of spring crowds flocking to sand and warmth, but the potential dangers that lurk in the water are never far from mind.
Like getting struck by lightning, you don't think it's going to happen.
Now, Alabama could soon see an Amber Alert-style warning sent to cell phones about unprovoked shark attacks or after credible reports of sharks nearby. An Alabama House committee has approved a bill named after a shark attack victim.
Yeah.
The Lulu Gribben Shark Alert System Act is inspired and backed by 16-year-old Lulu Gribben, one of the 47 people hurt by sharks just last year.
With this bill in place, we can prevent further accidents in the future, and I'm just so excited to be able to pass it. So, thank you.
Last summer, Gribben lost her leg and part of her arm when she was bitten by a shark in Rosemary Beach, Florida. This video shows bystanders jumping into action to save her. Little did she know at the time, another person nearby was attacked by a shark just 90 minutes earlier. Should the bill pass, that's something she and others hope can be avoided.
She was only in 3 feet of water, but had no knowledge that there had been an attack, a shark attack, a severe shark attack down the beach.
And I can close it.
Gribben has become an advocate for amputees and prosthetic technologies. Her Instagram account, Lulu G Strong, with over 260,000 followers, documents her inspiring road to recovery.
Great work, great work.
Including her emotional return to the ocean for the first time since her attack. Now she's doing her part to both protect and inspire.
Never give up and stay positive, even in the most challenging times. It's hard, but you will get through it, and where there's a storm, there's always a rainbow.
So inspiring. Now, more than half of U.S. shark attacks happen right here in the state of Florida. Now, this bill is Alabama specific. It's going to move on to the Alabama House of Representatives, but it does open the door to see if this could be something we see in other states, Joe.
Good for her for taking action. Marissa, thank you so much for that story. Coming up, the world of high fashion getting a little smaller. Prada is buying up Versace in a massive billion-dollar deal. So what's next for the iconic Italian brands? We're going to take a closer look next. We're back with a major shakeup in luxury fashion. Two iconic Italian brands and household names will be joining forces. Yesterday, Prada announced plans to buy rival fashion house Versace for nearly $1.5 billion. NBC News correspondent Maya Eaglin has more on what the deal means for the fashion world.
Two fashion powerhouses, now under one roof. The Prada Group announcing a deal to buy Versace for an estimated $1.4 billion, bringing the Italian titans together.
Versace's designs became part of the color and texture of the American experience.
Versace, founded in 1978 by Italian fashion designer Gianni Versace, quickly soared in global popularity for its bold patterns, ready-to-wear luxury fashion, and haute couture runways.
They're colorful. He dares to do things that other designers don't.
Worn by A-list celebrities at award shows and movie premieres.
Gianni Versace was an incredible man.
But the iconic brand hit with tragedy.
Versace was shot twice in the back of his head.
In 1997, its founder and visionary Gianni was murdered on the steps of his Miami Beach mansion.
It's not unfair. It's not fair.
His murder sending shockwaves through the fashion industry and the world. With more than 2,000 people attending his funeral, including Princess Diana, Madonna, and Sting. Gianni's younger sister, Donatella Versace, taking over after his death, ushering in a new era of iconic looks on stars like Britney Spears, Lady Gaga, Beyonce, and of course, Jennifer Lopez's green jungle dress at the 2000 Grammys. Gianni's sister oversaw the sale of Versace to the Michael Kors Group in 2018 and stepped down as chief creative officer this past March. Now Prada says it's taking out a debt of over €1 billion to fund the acquisition of Versace.
How big of a deal is this purchase of Versace?
It's the biggest deal of the year.
An acquisition that New York Times fashion critic and director Vanessa Friedman says will bring together two very different styles.
They certainly have very different aesthetics, but in a funny way that makes them a good fit for one group. Versace is brash and in your face and kind of hedonistic, and Prada is much more intellectual and cerebral, much more about the female gaze as opposed to the male gaze. And in a way, they're complementary.
The transaction coming right on time for Versace. Parent company Capri Holdings reporting a loss of over $100 million in February. Revenue dropping 11%. Prada now forming an Italian umbrella that could rival French luxury conglomerate LVMH, which owns over 75 brands like Louis Vuitton, Dior, and Fendi. A move that Friedman says could be good for consumers.
We've been waiting for this for a while. There were some doubts about whether it would happen given the turmoil in the financial markets at the moment, but it went through, so it's kind of exciting.
Maya Eaglin, NBC News.
Staying on your wallet, there are new reports out this morning about a fresh wave of layoffs over at Google. CNBC's Silvana Henao has that and some other Wall Street headlines. Silvana, good morning.
Hey, Joe, good morning. Happy Friday to you. Yeah, so Google is laying off hundreds of employees in its platforms and devices units, which work on Android software, Pixel phones, and the Chrome browser. Now, the information reports these cuts follow buyouts offered to workers in January. Bloomberg reported in February, Google cut employees from its cloud division. Meanwhile, OpenAI is rolling out a new memory feature for ChatGPT that lets the chatbot tailor answers based on the contents of your previous conversation. So this feature, which appears in the settings as reference saved memories, aims to make conversations more relevant. And the feature will launch first for ChatGPT Pro and Plus subscribers. And Barbie meets ChatGPT. Yep, a new AI trend is sweeping TikTok and Instagram, where users are transforming photos of themselves into action figures. So ChatGPT creates a Barbie doll version, a plastic box with your name on the front, and accessories to reflect your personality. And if you're not happy with the initial results, well, you can change up your prompts until you get the perfect little version of yourself, Joe.
All right. And
Have you done this?
Well, it looks like we did it right there. Wow.
Let's see. Let's see. Oh.
That is... I think I have those pants too. So
Look
I think
at that.
That's pretty extraordinary. I like the little microphone, got the little coffee. That is impressive.
The
The Broadway playbill. My goodness.
Look at that.
I'd say that's a strapping Barbie. Those
Very nice. I'd buy that one.
Buy them now. Christmas, birthdays.
Done.
Savannah, thank you so much. Appreciate it. All right, other news now. Saturday nights are about to get a lot more entertaining across the pond. UK broadcaster Sky News has officially revealed that it is going to be launching a British version of SNL starting next year. It's going to feature an all-new local cast with a familiar face leading the charge. NBC News entertainment correspondent Chloe Malas gives us a closer look.
Could it be live from New York? It's Saturday night!
One of the most iconic lines on TV is about to get a new twist across the pond.
Came all this way, had to explain.
An all-British version of NBC's Saturday Night Live set to debut next year on UK broadcaster Sky, with show creator Lorne Michaels serving as executive producer.
And I care about what you're saying because
Sky says the London-based series will follow the same live, fast-paced style that has made the show a cultural phenomenon. Adding it will feature iconic hosts, musical guests, and a core cast of the funniest British comedians around. Sky is owned by Comcast, the parent company of NBC News. SNL, which has won the most Emmy Awards in television history, celebrated its 50th anniversary in February. The major milestone fueling rumors Michaels, now 80 years old, would step down. But biographer Susan Morrison says she's not surprised that he's showing no signs of slowing down.
I don't think there's ever been a chance in hell that he was going to step away after the 50th anniversary. I mean, the show is his life. He is the show. I think he's the beating heart of it. And he's not going anywhere soon.
SNL has launched the careers of veteran comedians, including Mike Myers, Tina Fey, Eddie Murphy, and countless more.
For dozens, if not hundreds of people, Lorne is the person who at one point just looked at them and said, you. You know, he opened the door to comedy. He opened the door to the world for so many of them.
And this isn't the first time that a version of the American sketch show has been launched in another country. Largely short-lived versions of SNL airing in countries like Italy,
Live from Milano, it's Saturday night!
Egypt,
Saturday night!
and Germany. South Korea's SNL still on air today. In some cases, those shows paying homage to some of America's most popular and time-enduring skits, like Will Ferrell's classic More Cowbell, with Spain and France airing their own versions. While the UK had an unofficial version of SNL in the 80s featuring acts like Hugh Laurie and Stephen Fry.
A hot snap. A hot snap, if you like.
Audiences can expect Sky's official late-night show to usher in a new era of comedy. Chloe Malas, NBC News.
And to look forward to there. All right, it is Friday, not Saturday. And here in Morning News Now, that can mean only one thing. Grab your AM dose of popcorn because we are taking you through the latest and greatest from the world of Hollywood and beyond. It's everything you simply can't miss this weekend. Next. Welcome back. It's Friday, which means it's time for your weekly can't miss list, a rundown of all the films, shows, and music you need to see and hear this weekend. Joining me now to go through it all, host and producer of Entertain This, Ralphie Aversa. Good to have you with us. A lot of content to get through. Let's start with Drop. This is, I guess you would say, a horror movie.
Yes.
A woman is on a date. She gets a mysterious text message. And then things take a dark turn.
This is why your airdrop's got to be set to off. Just turn it off if you're in public. For Megan Fahey starring in this, the Emmy-nominated actress, and she's on a first date. She's a widow. Her kid's at home with her sister, and she suddenly gets these airdrop memes. And at first it's annoying, and then suddenly it's terrorizing. And she starts to receive all of these instructions. And if she doesn't follow the instructions in the airdrops, well, then her family back at home may be in danger. So this one is quite the thriller and quite the horror film.
So if you like a horror movie, this one's probably for you.
Right up your alley this weekend.
She is everywhere right now, from White Lotus, and doing great right now. All right, let's talk about Warfare, groundbreaking in how it portrays the war in Iraq. It's actually written and directed by a veteran. Talk about how this one, which I know is getting good reviews, is different from other war-themed movies.
Ray Mendoza is the veteran that co-wrote this. And what's interesting about this film is it really brings you inside, embedded with a group of Navy SEALs who are on a mission in enemy territory when things go sideways. And so you kind of get to see the background of how they became together and how they bonded, but then also everything that transpires. I'll tell you, just watching the trailer, it is not for the faint of heart, but certainly it definitely has a different feel than your typical war film.
And working with Mendoza is the guy behind 28 Days Later and some other really well-made movies. So.
Yes, that's Alex Garland, correct. Yep.
Very cool. All right, let's get to television. If you are at 30 Rock this week, we've seen Jon Hamm wandering around the building doing everything, including Saturday Night Live this week, and that's because he's got a new show out called Your Friends and Neighbors on Apple TV+. He's basically a guy with a great job, loses his job, starts committing crimes, right?
Yes, yeah. I hope Timothy Ratliff is taking notes back at home on this. Another White Lotus reference. We're 2 for 2 here, Joe. But yeah, so yes, that's exactly what happens. Olivia Munn is in this also, and this is receiving great reviews. It's already renewed for season 2, Apple TV+.
All right, and it's good to hear that he's getting good reviews. Everyone loves Jon Hamm. Okay, speaking of social messages, the 6th and final season of The Handmaid's Tale. People have been waiting for this one for a long time. What do we know about how they're hoping to close out this popular series?
Well, we know that June is still on this journey. She's seeking justice, and we revisit her in the first episode on the train. But as she travels and tries to find that justice and truth, who will be with her and who won't? I guess that's the big question. And we may actually get some of those answers in the first episode. The first 3 episodes of this, again, starring, of course, the great Elizabeth Moss on Hulu now.
Speaking of social messages, Black Mirror is back. I didn't know it was still around. It is intense. It's always got great guest stars. What should we know about this season?
Tracy Ellis Ross being one of them, Paul Giamatti being another, and there was the Star Trek Rift episode from yesteryear that they actually do a sequel to here as well in season 7. Yeah, this always hits close to home.
All right, we've had a lot of serious stuff here, so maybe we should lighten it up a little bit. It's Coachella, of course, starting this weekend. If you didn't score a ticket, if you're not going in person, if you don't want to get sand in your shoes or whatever else, we have a solution for you because it's actually going to be streaming live. How can folks watch it?
On YouTube, right from the comfort of your couch or your bed or wherever else. You don't got to travel out to the desert, and you can see Lady Gaga and Travis Scott and Post Malone and so many other big names, Charlie XCX, Megan Thee Stallion. Coachella streaming all weekend. Some of the performances, by the way, on a tape delay.
Have you ever been to Coachella?
No, and quite frankly, I don't really have much of an interest to go.
Okay.
It's just so out of the way, and it's like there's such a huge crowd. I don't know. If somebody invited me, of course I would go. It's not on my.
I feel like I'd want like a VIP tent or something kind of special like that.
I sound probably a little jaded and bougie, but you know what? I'm jaded and bougie then, so be it. Yeah.
Ralphie Aversa, thank you so much. Thanks, have a great weekend. That is going to do it for this hour of Morning News Now, but don't go anywhere. The news continues right now.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.